This podcast might burn down. I don't know how a podcast burns, but it might burn down with this.
And beat the living shit out of those fighting Dan Campbell. For that one.
8 coaches that LeBron James has had. All 8.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Gentlemen.
Boys.
Hey. Welcome to the Juice Boys Show, everybody. Happy Friday. It's another week. Grinding it out. Got here. Anywhere you're listening, we want to thank you. I'm the third turd Cody. We got Mr. Pulp. We got the Sultan of Sift. Episode 20. I don't count anymore, guys, because
24? Is that right?
24? That's almost 25.
Oh my God, we better do something special.
We're getting there. Yes, we're going to do something special. Before we jump into it, stay tuned. We might have a little Brackham challenge for the NFL playoffs. I mean, we did post it on social before.
They don't need to know about that yet.
More details.
It was on social on Tuesday.
Except for the fact that all of you have had this force-fed to you on Instagram for a week.
So more details to come by Mr. Chris. Boys, what are we drinking before we get into... Oh, I had a whole line for it, too. It's cold as tits outside, but we got a hot show. Hot show.
So what is the current
level of intensity
weather?
now?
What is the current weather in Kansas City?
Because here it's just cold. It's just normal
It
cold.
is nasty in Bailey right now, dude. It is. The wind is whipping. It's probably like 8. You know, it is
it really?
so bad. Yeah.
16 right now, and it probably feels like 2.
Wow.
So
with 5 inches of snow.
Then we might be colder. Oh, we don't have that. We don't have snow right now. But ours is 23. Real feel of 5. So not
These
good.
are the sort of week-old weather reports you can count on from the Juice Boys Show, listener.
Your local
Can I talk
meteorologist.
about my drink now? Can I?
Yes, what are you drinking?
Yes? Oh my God, I'm so thirsty.
Yes.
I hate wind.
Fellas, I'm drinking delicious, homegrown Shenanigans whiskey.
Oh my
Oh God, you son of a!
But you know what I'm drinking it out of? I'm drinking it
Fisher.
out of a Stormtrooper helmet. Shout out to
McCoy.
Shout out to cousin Logan for the super badass Stormtrooper helmet to put my fancy pants whiskey in now.
Chris is going to single-handedly kill
You
this segment.
gotta diversify.
Single-handedly kill this segment.
I don't got anything. I want to show off my Stormtrooper helmet. Suck it.
You could put something else in it and still show it
I know,
off.
but it was already in it. You guys know that. You were at my house drinking out of it.
Yeah, do you see why it's half gone? Because your two
It's
brothers-in-law,
almost
I
empty.
can't believe
the
it's
two
not
brothers-in-law
already-
made your ass cook while we drank your food, or drank your booze and ate your food.
Thank you for drinking my food.
good.
Yes.
So good.
Joey, what are you consuming, friend?
Well, I had a good liquor store run with a buddy of mine the other day. That really knows his shit about whiskey, and I got turned on to this Redemption bourbon. You guys ever had Redemption? It's really good. All right, it's legit straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey. All right, it's a mash. It's a mixture of corn, rye, and barley, but then it's in charred oak barrels. It's delicious. It comes in as 88 proof, so not too much. It's only $26, guys. Go out and get some. It's delightful.
A value
All right?
purchase.
It is a value purchase.
We
And
love
then
bang
you
for
get
our
there,
buck.
as they like in their barrel aged stuff is insane. And for my beer chaser today, I was
Fan
so
favorite.
proud to hear from a shout out from a Juice Junkie listener who works at Oscar Blues. So I wanted to shout out my favorite Oscar Blues beer, and I'm drinking it right now. One of my favorite beers of all time, Dale's American Pale Ale. It's
Hell
just a
yeah.
great.
We love OBs. Shout out to listener manager.
How many Oscar Blues employees do we know?
I don't know, but I saw one of them on our on the Instagram, and that was very exciting.
Ooh, love
I
it.
just
Well,
know the
boys,
one.
I'm drinking Rebecca Creek Fine Texas Spirit Whiskey. I know nothing about it, and I
How
won't
was
even
it?
try.
I've never had it.
Okay, good talk.
You guys know the drill. We got a sports docket. We got squeezes of the week. We got a big potato. We got picks. We got a Wheel of Degeneracy. This is a very fan-forward show. We got
It is.
an
Yeah, a lot
acceptance
of-
speech coming up. We got a recorded squeeze of the week from a listener. So
Oh my
Yeah, we
gosh.
kind of called out the fans last week, and they responded.
they deliver.
My God.
We got a video.
heed
Yeah, we
the
got videos. We
call.
got recordings. Love it. So shall we,
heeded the
boys?
call,
Shall we
yeah.
kick off the week?
The conch. Juice boys, assemble! Whoa, the conch.
The juice junkies respond when Joey blows
Calls
the
them out.
conch.
All right, boys, jump into the sports docket. CFP championship review. Not even really a game. Michael Penix missed 2 touchdowns, wide open people. Michigan dominated really from the start. Let's hit on it real quick.
Okay, yes, they dominated, but that is Washington's entire game, and they didn't miss those plays the entire season. And I can't believe that happened. I can't believe
Twice,
that Rome
14 points.
is good. That dude is good. And I saw a mock
Heard some
draft. the
talk
other
of
day.
him maybe hopping Marvin Harrison Jr.
I was seeing something
Yes.
about that, but I also saw a mock draft the other day that had the Bears getting Caleb Williams and then getting a Dunze at the 9th, and I was like, "Ooh, that would be sweet for them."
Hold
However,
on, are we already getting to mock draft
sick.
bullshit?
No,
This early?
yeah,
Are we
yeah,
really?
yeah,
Oh, are you kidding me? That's been going for months.
Jeez.
just saying. Anyway, they don't usually miss those. Michael Penix, he hurt his draft stock last night.
I think so.
Unfortunately, after how he
I think
dominated.
he's injured again.
He is, dude. He was hurting. He was
Yeah.
hurting bad.
Busted
but
rib or something.
when he missed that first bomb, I was like, "Oh no," because that was going
On
to
fourth down.
That was going to change the game, dude. That was going to absolutely change the game. And they were in it, dude. They were in it. It was a 7-point game in the fourth quarter. And with that one, that right there, that would have been absolutely game changing. And also that bullshit hold. That was not a hold on that big third down.
yeah.
They did
Yeah, that was
38
bad.
yards on that third down play, and they called a hold. That was just so soft.
Damn
That was
refs.
so soft. And it's just another time of refs really impacting a game. But all in all, I hate to say it, Michigan's good. Their defense is good. Their running game was outstanding. 308 yards or something, most
Ground and
ever
pound.
in a title game. I mean, that's incredible. Edwards went off. Corum he's good, but it's I hate to see it. They deserved it.
That hurt your soul,
did.
didn't it?
It did. It really did hurt my soul. They went through everything. The 15-0, Harbaugh suspended for 6 games. They just
They also
kept
cheated.
trucking.
I'm a little
kept
confused
beating.
by that.
Okay, but whatever. I mean, when they
Just a
when they
bit.
got onto the
They
field,
cheated a little bit.
well,
Just a
maybe
touch.
Cheating helps you wins games. Like, I'm confused how we're not
You
really
ain't
talking
Joey
about
would
it.
understand.
trying.
Joey
Right,
would
but-
understand.
Yeah, I mean, oh God, I don't want to touch with what's happening with my boys. What's happening with the Patriots? I don't even want to talk
Wait,
about
you
it.
wanted him gone. You wanted Bill Belichick gone.
Belichick is still employed as of this
Doesn't
recording.
make it any easier, McCoy.
Mike Vrabel is available. I guess we want to jump into that. Black
Well, Chris is
Monday.
going to talk about college football.
I was going to
playoff.
say,
Chris, our
Oh my
college
God.
football.
you tried to
aficionado's gotta
segue
talk
out of
about
it.
college
Chris,
football.
what do you got?
I did not.
No, Joey.
I would love to take
Subway?
this as an opportunity to say that I think FSU, even without their
gosh, here we go.
starting quarterback, could have
Oh, jeez.
taken on that Washington team with the defense that they fielded this season, and I think they could have hung with Michigan in the neither one of us brought an offense bowl.
That's a hot take.
What?
That's steamy.
I don't think that's not even.
Georgia would have whooped them both.
Oh, I think Georgia is still the most stacked team in college football this season.
Georgia's got to be so.
but they didn't
freaking
go
pissed.
undefeated. The Knowles
They
did.
did not.
And I
Kirby
will
Smart is
die
meeting
on
with the
this hill.
Falcons.
I
No,
saw
the Knowles
that.
didn't. The Knowles lost to Georgia. They did not go undefeated.
They didn't go. Yeah, they went undefeated through
They did.
conference championship.
Yeah, but then they just
deserving
gave
of
up.
the spot
Everybody
in the CFP.
Everybody just got pouty.
Wouldn't have
Everybody
happened had they gotten their spot.
Everybody left. If they really wanted to prove it, they would have done what Georgia did and stomped. But they didn't because they knew they weren't good enough. They knew they weren't good enough. They can do the
They
pity party all they
absolutely
want.
were
but they-
good enough.
Look, obviously we're not. They got
absolutely
their
good
asses
enough.
kicked. It's
Yeah, once they were in the who gives a shit bowl, that's different than being in the CFP.
you know who gave a shit?
Georgia.
Georgia. Georgia really gave
That's
a
fine.
shit. And that's why now we're talking about Georgia. And we're talking
It always
about
goes
how
back to
Florida State
Georgia.
was just an absolute joke. I mean, it's just like that
Florida
was
State
horrible.
would have beaten Washington. Would have hung with.
with the team that okay.
Oh, I'm with it.
a team
Oh,
with the
I'm
team
with
that
it. Let's
they-
look
okay.
at what Michigan did versus
Hang on. I don't wanna
what
talk about that
FSU
yet.
does.
Wait, you're saying that the Florida State team, when they decided the Final Four, without Jordan Travis, with that team at that moment, when they barely won the last game, that they would
Barely?
be- yeah, they barely won their last game without Jordan Travis in there with their third string quarterback. They barely won that game. All
Are you
right, and
talking about
so
when they played Louisville, or are you talking about when
yeah,
they,
talk about Louisville in the
Florida.
conference championship.
What are
They
you talking
barely
about?
won
They
that.
barely-
They barely won.
does oh my God, So barely winning a game now all of a sudden knocks you out. Let's talk about Washington.
So I'm talking about that
Washington
team.
State.
You're saying that team would beat Washington. That team that struggled against Louisville would beat
struggled
Washington.
against Louisville, one of the top offenses in the country. They held them to 16 points. Struggled against Louisville. That's what I'm saying is they're good at pressuring talented quarterbacks and forcing them out of the pocket and forcing them off their rhythm and off of their game plan. That's exactly what the Michigan defense did to Washington, and that's why Michigan was successful. And on top of that, let's think about what the offense did. What was his name? J.J. McCarthy completed 10 passes that game.
So
All they did was beat the hell out of Washington by running it up the gut with their oversized line play, which is exactly what FSU would have done with a backup quarterback. Run it right at their teeth, challenge them to be able to be big enough to stop the run, throw when you absolutely have to, but otherwise rely on your defense to keep their offense out of sync and on the bench.
Michigan's defense is better than the defense that Florida State could have put out there.
I know we talked about that in my squeeze.
Yeah, they are. They're better than that. So there's no way. Washington was the second best team in football. They were the second best team. And I hate to say it because I was pissed when they first did it. All right. But the college football committee looks like they got it right. There was two good games.
Other than Georgia.
Disagree.
Okay, but other than Georgia, but the two games, like the two games that were like the three total games that were played were much better games than we've seen maybe of like any of the total college football playoff games.
They got the ratings that they wanted.
And it's just like they were competitive games, and like every
We had
single
another
one
blowout
of them
last night.
That was not okay. It became a blowout in the fourth
At
quarter. It was a
what point-
seven
at what
point
point
game
in
in
time
the fourth
was-
quarter. It's a 7
At
point
what
game
point
in
in
the fourth
time was
quarter.
Washington in that game?
At halftime, and at the then right after they got the stop after they gave it up.
How did
in the
that
first
go
time. And then
immediately? The very first play after
I hate
halftime.
Michigan.
Were they still in it after that first play?
Yes, because after
that
that,
pick?
it was still a 7 point game, 7 point game in the fourth quarter. It was
So Washington got it close. That's it. They got it close at one point in time, and that's
and so did Alabama. But I mean, I think Michigan proved that they're the best team. And I don't think that Florida State should have been in there, and they proved that by. And I think also I'm just pissed that they're so petty and they're just like, no, I'm not gonna play now.
All right, and John Morant has season-ending surgery.
Oh
Anyone want to talk about that? No?
Boo.
Okay, we can move on.
No.
They were actually
Okay,
6 and
moving
3.
on. Bye-bye.
They were 6 and 3 when he did come back, but
I don't care. He's a terrible human being. I do not care.
also the greatest weekend maybe in sports.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Definitely.
Super wild card weekend. We got a quick hit list. We got a lot of shit going on. Tyreek is back in Kansas City, only on Peacock. What the fuck's going on there?
Yeah, what the hell is that?
It's also
what the
supposed
hell
to be
is
0 degrees. Hold on, let me get to a quick
McCoy.
hit list.
Okay,
Hold
sorry,
on.
sorry.
Stafford back in Detroit. Wild.
Wow.
Eagles and Bucks, I guess they have to play a game that who gives a shit about. Steelers and
I
Bills
give a
up in
shit.
Buffalo. It's going to be probably 0 degrees. DJ Watt is out. Deshaun Watson, the Deshaun Watson Bowl, Texans versus Browns.
Let's go. baby.
And is this a different Cowboy year? They play Jordan Love and the Packers.
Let's go.
Oh, so much betting. This is one of my favorite. I hate that they got rid of the 2-bye system because the Chiefs would be getting some of those buys over the years. But this
Not
is
this
a
year,
wild
baby.
weekend. It's a crazy weekend. What do we think?
It's gonna be great. I'm so excited. I'm about literally every single one of these games. I'm excited about. Maybe not Buffalo and Steelers because they're probably going to absolutely destroy them. Without T.J. Watt, the Steelers have no chance whatsoever.
Mason Rudolph, baby.
For me, this is going to sound cray cray, but the one I'm most excited
cray-cray.
about seeing is the Lions and Rams. Okay, I know you're probably
I'm
going to
with
say
you.
about Flacco
That's a
because
big
I
one.
fucking hate Joe Flacco, and I'm picking. I know that the Texans are going to beat them, but I want to focus on Detroit because what the hell type of football gods are able to write a script like this? The first home
love it.
game, first home playoff game in the history of Ford Field, and they go against Matthew Stafford.
Oh,
You know, and so they're of course gonna be giving him like some video tribute. Everybody in
no,
Detroit
not in the
still-
playoffs. Not in the playoffs. No.
They will. I'll be surprised. I will be shocked.
first homecoming.
No,
I'd be
not in the
shocked.
playoffs.
Something.
Dan Campbell is
shocked.
not allowing that. Dan Campbell rode his players till the end of the whole game. That meant nothing last week. You think they're giving him any type of love in this game?
I do. I think they do. They're a classy organization. I think they will. But I'm so excited for
Calvin
this to
Johnson
happen,
think that?
and I think it's
Did
unfortunately
you say they're a
not.
classy organization? Didn't Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson retire early because of the organization they played for?
I'm talking about them in terms of like public service and like being good people and things like that. Now, economically decisions, no. They're
Classic things you think of when you think of the town of Detroit.
I say classy. Classy.
I think you're falling ass backwards. And continue.
I might be.
Yeah, we got you there.
I think as soon as
called you out.
that clock hits triple zeros, you look at the scoreboard and you go, "We won." Roll the video.
I think
There you go.
Dan Campbell's classy. I think the trade they did for Matthew Stafford, sending him to a Super Bowl contender, was a
Agreed.
classy
Yeah.
move.
No way.
That's where I'm coming from, brother. All right,
happening.
now, anyway, I think they will honor him, but I also think Detroit is going to win this game, and that's going to be an absolute incredible shift of the tides, proving that they made the right decision, that they moved on. And honestly, that might prove that might be one of the greatest trades in football history, working out for both teams. Jared Goff is playing outstanding, 12-5 this season, getting the the third seed,
Third.
over home playoff game, right? And then Matthew Stafford goes off and wins the Super Bowl. I mean, that's I say pretty big win-win for both sides on that trade.
Hold on, the Lions have achieved literally nothing yet.
They achieved absolute trash nothing before this, bro. I mean, the fact that they're even in the playoffs is one of the biggest
Yeah, the
successes
first-
of that team's
First
history
divisional
ever.
title in 30 years, something like that.
Yeah, it's incredible. So they have achieved something, but for maybe not. That's the standard for teams like the Chiefs and the Patriots and the Packers. I mean, things like that. That's the standard.
That wasn't the standard 7 years ago for the Chiefs, though.
Oh, but yeah, there's
it is
about a
now.
50-year drought there. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's the thing is like at some point in time you got to start that standard. You've got to have year one of this is what we expect the new normal to be, and here the Lions are riding that trade still with Jared Goff at the helm. I'm with you, Joey.
I think Rams. I think they should be on upset alert. I think Matthew Stafford comes
also-
in very
They
motivated.
also-
Also,
but
got to
that's what
have
I'm
them on
worried
upset
about,
alert.
but-
But this is still a hell of an accomplishment.
Are you more intrigued with Tyreek back in KC or the Peacock exclusive bullshit? that
I
the NFL's trying to
mean-
pull here.
Will anybody be paying attention? Like,
Dear
who has
Lord.
Peacock?
I do. Did you buy
Hooray.
a login?
Maybe.
I definitely have one. I have
Peacock paid about $140 million for the exclusive streaming rights of a playoff game. It's going to be 0 degrees, fellas.
Oh man.
So that
I know.
speedy Miami offense that did not show up in Miami 1 week ago. Not sure how they're going to deal with 0 degree, snowy, cold, a little bit of humidity in there. Oh, it's gonna be
I'm taking.
tough
I'm still taking the Dolphins, and for one
Really?
reason and one reason only, because I picked this to happen at the beginning of the season. I picked the Chiefs to
so
lose
you
in the
gotta ride
first
it.
round of the playoffs. I picked it. Now, unfortunately, the
Dolphins are face to face with having to
And
beat a
unfortunately,
team
the
with a
Dolphins
winning
are-
record.
that they haven't
terrible.
done
They
since
are.
when?
They're
Since
terrible.
when? Week
Last
3
season,
of
right?
last season.
oh my god, that's so bad. That's
They've already
so
played the
bad.
Chiefs in Germany, and they did lose. Tyreek Hill had a fumble. Oh, it's going to be an exciting game. Eagles, Bucks. Anyone have any thoughts?
Bucks are going to win that game.
Oh
The
man.
Bucks are going to
Eagles
win
are
that
broken.
game. The Eagles are broken.
Let's go,
they're
Baker.
spiraling. Yeah, but Baker Mayfield's going to win another playoff game, and then just keep proving to people who doubt him. Just keep looking at his record and just saying like,
Looking
all
at you,
right,
McCoy.
he's going to keep trucking. I'm picking. Yeah, Tampa Bay's going to win that game at home.
That'll do it for the sports docket music break.
With the music break. All right, so fellas, now is normally when we've got our squeezes, but I'm jumping ahead of the gun here and gonna give us our first ad read.
Ooh.
Because fellas, today's episode of the Juice Boys Show is sponsored by our own damn selves.
Yeah.
Yeah, boys.
Oh, right.
Listen,
Wait, who
we
paid for that?
are.
Did we
How
pay?
we sponsor
Did
ourselves?
we pay for that? Did we pay ourselves? Did I pay you? Did Joey pay you?
Actually, if you wouldn't mind paying me.
Yeah.
No, let's all pay Joey. He's the talent here. Listener, we are so proud to announce our 2024 Juice Boys NFL Tournament Pick'em in collaboration with our good friends at Harbaugh Brand Khakis.
Yes.
Hey. So here's the rub, dear Juice Junkie. This episode comes out on Friday, and I know games start on Saturday, so our time is pretty limited. Hopefully, you're following us on all social media where we've already been shoving this tournament down your throat all week.
Yes.
But if you haven't seen this on socials yet, head over to the Juice Boys Show on Instagram, which can be found where, Joey?
Juice Boys Show.
Hey,
That is Juice Boys Show.
That's it. Head on over there and follow the link on our latest post to sign up. And even if the games have started, you can still add your name into the mix just for funsies. So we will be handing out prizes to the top 3 winners of the 2024 Juice Boys NFL Tournament Pick'em. So third place will receive a Juice Boys Show sticker featuring our badass new logo made by the ever-talented Miranda over at Moonrise Art Studio, who we've talked about before. Second place will receive a sticker and a genuine crushed Joey beer chaser from our Super Bowl episode.
Actually used.
Actually used.
signed and everything.
You can lick the top of that and know that you are sharing spit with Joey.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't recommend it, but you can. It's yours now.
If you can do whatever you want, but I wouldn't.
And our first place winner will receive a sticker, a pair of genuine Harbaugh brand khakis,
Yes.
and the opportunity to have their own one breath take on a future show. So head on over to our Instagram now and sign on up. Hell yeah, boys.
Bring it. Bring it, everybody.
Bring it.
Man. All right, boys.
The Ravens. Could be the Ravens.
Squeeze of the week. Our most outlandish takes. One of our favorite segments on the whole show.
Absolutely. All right, so this one was just texted to me by listener Lewis, a diehard Dolphins fan, and
Listener Lewis.
That's a new listener.
yeah,
I love it.
yeah,
Love it.
love listener Lewis, talking about Tua and how hopeless the situation is.
Oh no.
He said, "Yeah, he sucks. Once we
Whoa.
get down,
Oh.
strictly throws it to Tyreek. It happened last week against the Ravens too. He's decent as long as the offense is on schedule. Once they get off schedule, he's awful. Any big game we play in, he sucks. We've beaten one team with a winning record this year, which, Cody, I just went and fact-checked you and I talking smack about them not beating anybody since last year. I forgot they just beat the Cowboys, who have a winning record.
Oh,
So,
shit, they did. That's
Oh,
right.
whoopsie doodles.
They
We
did.
were wrong. Lewis, you're
Sports
That was a
wrong.
big
Stuff
win.
for 'em.
They did just do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I don't know how we forgot that.
Yeah, that was a big win.
And the only reason last night was even close was because the Bills had 3 turnovers in the first half, which I got to say fair. Most of them in the red zone. It was hard to watch. And our poor defense is playing their asses off just for the offense to go out there and get a 3 and out. Also, Lewis wants us to know that we should all go watch the movie Division 3 because he thinks it's hilarious. And I
It
told
is
him that I would
hilarious.
plug that for him.
It is
You would plug
hilarious.
that for-
Andy Dick, it's so funny. Your forehead's the hottest part of your body.
So
so
Tua
anyway,
sucks is
if-
his squeeze.
Yeah, Tua sucks. And basically that the offense covers for him by being just so talented.
I think it's the running game and Tyreek. Throw it up to Tyreek. You get Jalen Waddle.
that's literally
second,
exactly
And then the
what we were
running game
talking
has been
about.
so much. I mean, Raheem Mostert is.
It's Mostert, Tyreek, and
Yeah.
and Waddle. And
Is he a system quarterback, Joe?
I completely I disagree. He's good.
Ooh.
Dude, he's good.
Ooh.
He led the league in passing this year. He's a good quarterback. Now everybody's just looking for
how
this,
much of that
this-
was
this,
yards
like,
after catch?
Who cares? Who cares, dude? He's putting it in the right place to the right guys at the right time. You know, it's just like what you look at Peyton Manning at the second half of his career. He was throwing freaking ducks. All right. Even that year he had 55 touchdowns. It was fluttering out of his hand. Why was it caught? Because it was right on time and perfectly in place. There's a lot to say about a quarterback who's accurate versus somebody like Josh Allen, who I love, but somebody like Josh Allen who's just an absolute gunslinger.
Shout
Right.
out to Dr. Apulp.
The dude, I love Josh.
He's gonna be on the show here
So pumped on that game on Sunday night. I was so pumped. So, but yeah, I can't wait for Josh
Ooh, here we
Allen to
go.
get his redemption.
Wait, I thought we were talking about Tua.
Yeah, well, hold on. What?
I can't wait.
So Tua is good compared to Joe.
No,
I mean, Tua's about to get paid by the Dolphins, but he's not going to get paid game-changing money. He's going to get
I mean,
paid
if I
good
remember
money for a
correctly-
good quarterback.
Wasn't weren't the Dolphins just trying to move on from Tua by nabbing Deshaun?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
They were, yeah.
wasn't that the move? And now all of a sudden, they're just throwing their weight behind him, even though he can't throw the ball more than 40 yards down the field.
I think our friend Lewis is being a little
He's
emotional
leading
Dolphin
the
fan.
league.
That's fair.
He led the league in passing. He led the league in passing.
How many teams would want Tua right now, Joe? How many teams would swap their quarterback
I
for Tua?
would die if the Patriots got Tua. I would freak out.
So what, like half the league? What's the...
I'd say all but 6.
Would Mike Vrabel still have a job if he had Tua?
Oh,
Yes.
probably.
Absolutely he would. Absolutely he would.
Are we going to put him
Tua
through the
is
Patrick
good.
Mahomes ringer of if you get rid of all of his weapons, is he still any good?
Yes,
then that's
Patrick
probably
Mahomes is
not
still
enough.
good. It's like Brady went through that for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he had nobody to throw to, and he was still putting up unbelievable stats, and they're still in the playoffs every single season in the AFC Championship. So it's just like, yeah, he's good. I think Tua is good. He got beat to shit last season. He made it through this year.
Oh,
like
man,
if
he
they
did.
would have won that game on Sunday night, they would have been the 2 seed. I mean, it's just like it's
How does Lewis feel if they win
Yeah.
the game and then they're 2 seed?
Still not great. We've had, this isn't our only conversation about the Dolphins in the last several weeks. I think he's not sold on them no matter what. So
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
we'll
Lewis,
see. We'll see if that
could be-
changes.
It could
once
be the
he-
other 2 teams in the AFC East and be in the Jets and Patriots situation for quarterback this year and be like, Tua's pretty good. I think we're okay with Tua, or the Broncos. I mean, you think Russell or Tua? I take Tua. I mean, it's just look at the entire NFC South. I'd take Tua. I mean, it's just like, come on, man. It's like he's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Thanks for saying that,
All right, well,
Lewis.
we love a squeeze that splits the morons.
We love it.
So
That's our favorite.
yeah,
All right. And then we have one more listener submitted one. Our first audio take.
let's go.
I can't believe it. This is from Mike in
Very
Georgia, who has sent us a few. He's debated Chris a little bit. He sent a few. He sent a video recording. Take it away, Mike.
Full disclosure, before this rant, I am a diehard Ohio State fan. I have always been an Ohio State fan. I'll
don't like
always
that we
be an
can't
Ohio
disrupt
State
him.
fan, and I'll always be a Michigan hater. With that being said, Michigan's win last night should 100% have an asterisk next to it.
Ooh.
100%.
boy.
They cheated their way
That's
there.
juicy.
They might not have cheated a whole lot this year. I know everything kind of stopped by the Penn State game, but to have a school admittedly, but at the same time not admittingly,
Yeah, I was going to
say
what?
that they cheated and not have any repercussions whatsoever during the season about it is insane.
NCAA don't.
It lowers the integrity of the game. You've got Michigan players coming out saying that, yeah, they cheated. J.J. McCarthy, after they beat, who was Alabama, comes out and says, oh, we just had to get on everybody else's level. Everybody else does it, which is true. Everybody else does it in game. Nobody went to the extent to send guys to 6-7 games a year for, against the rival teams to find out their signs. Nobody sent guys to other conference games to get their signs just in case they played them. Nobody else did that. The fact that Harbaugh missed half the season to suspension and still has a job and is employed by the NCAA in Michigan is laughable right there. He should have been suspended. Michigan should have had scholarships taken away. They should have been on bowl ban this year, next year, the following year.
Oh, 3 years.
But nothing. You might say, oh, those are kind of extreme punishments. Not
I think we
really.
are saying
That's
that,
what Ohio
Mike.
State got hit with in 2011 or 2012 when their players were trading game-worn jerseys for tattoos. Jim Tressel got fired. They got put on bowl ban the next year, missed out on the national championship that year, might I add.
That's a good point. Precedent.
Missed out on scholarships. The players were suspended to start their NFL careers. Michigan should have the death penalty. They should be banned from
It
football.
just keeps building.
They're a disgrace to the game.
Oh.
They're a disgrace to the integrity of the game. And the fact that nobody's talking about it is insane. They're under FBI investigation for cyber attacks within the football program.
What?
Yeah,
We need
Connor
some fact
Stallions
checks here.
get suspended and fired mid-season, or not fired, suspended twice this season. 3 games apiece. So for committing NCAA recruiting violations and then saying he didn't know about the cheating going on, which I don't know how you're a head coach and not know about the cheating going on when the players know about the cheating going on. 2019, JJ McCarthy was a senior in high school, or still in high school. 2020, Michigan canceled the game. They claimed because of COVID. I think it's because they were scared. Over the next 3 years, they lose, 2 games because of this elaborate cheating scheme. That one thing leads to another. Sure, they get some good recruiting classes. They continue with the cheating. And now they are where they are, this year. They went to the playoffs 2 years in a row, lost 2 years in a row, got obliterated by Georgia, couldn't get past TCU last year. TCU was tipped off that they might know their signs, so they changed some stuff up. Michigan wasn't ready for it, ended up losing. And then this year, everything comes out. 100% should be an asterisk on this game. It was a good game, whatever. I think Washington missed some plays. The quarterback missed a couple throws that would have made it a little closer. Overall, asterisk on the game. Michigan should be banned from college football. Harbaugh should be fired.
Wow, this just
Death
keeps
penalty
getting more
to
intense.
Michigan. Go Buckeyes.
As soon as you sign it off of Go Buckeyes. I think
Oh my God! I need a works cited page. Can I get a bibliography here? There were some things discussed as fact that
subject line was death penalty to Michigan.
Okay, so there's a couple of things in there that I completely agree with. Some things that I disagree with. One, I think he's saying they admitted cheating by saying that JJ McCarthy was saying all that. I've never heard that, and I guess he's saying they admitted cheating by Michigan suspending him, by Michigan doing it themselves,
like owning it.
Is that admitting to it? But he said that there was no repercussions for this. Their head coach was suspended 6 games. I completely agree with the bowl ban and the Jim Tressel stuff. Might talk about that later. And everything that happened with that, with Terrell Pryor having to go in the consolation draft. I agree with everything you said. I know that they sat out 2020 because they were scared. I know that because they were kept on getting their dicks kicked by Ohio State over and over and over again, and they were completely scared. And you make an outstanding point with TCU stomping them after they knew they were going to change up their stuff. That's an outstanding point. But to say the death penalty, to vacate wins after they continued to win after the suspension of their coach, they were winning games without him. They beat Ohio State without him, which is just a horrible embarrassment. But yes, I agree with everything you said. It was a joke, but all in all, death penalty for that seems absolutely ridiculous. No, that doesn't. And vacating this national championship, they were the best team. They beat everybody. No.
Nice try, Mike.
Joey, I'll go against you. I'm actually not opposed to vacating wins pending the NCAA's investigation. Like if it comes out that allegations are true, that sign stealing was actually taking place, vacating wins, potentially vacating this national championship are 100% on the list of potential penalties.
But who cares? It happened.
But here's the thing is, to talk at this moment right now, we had the national championship yesterday, as if JJ McCarthy is out there just strutting like, oh yeah, we were sign stealing, but hey, Harbaugh's already served his self-imposed punishment. Like the reason, and correct me if I'm wrong, I thought that he was suspended 2 games earlier in the season and then did a self-imposed 4 game, or was it 3 and 3?
I knew he was out 6 games. That's all I know. He was out 6 games this season.
Okay. Either way, the second suspension was self-imposed because the NCAA the Big Ten was saying,
Big Ten,
we are going to be completing our investigation. We may be making a recommendation for some sort of suspension. And they made the decision to suspend him in the regular season. They, being Michigan, decided to suspend him in the regular season so that should that investigation come to fruition and recommend suspensions, and they're looking at a postseason berth, which they just completed, that they get the opportunity to have already had him serve that. And so hopefully that kind of quells the Big Ten's fervor. Give them the death penalty? Not gonna happen. Sorry, man. Vacating wins potentially that could be on the list. Like it's not Like the NCAA has done that in the past. They've got a history of having done so when cheating is believed to have helped on the field. They've done that just in times where, being outside the bounds of the rules was rampant across an entire team.
Unfortunately, what happened and is done, and repercussions after the fact are really difficult. Look at the freaking Astros. Man, it's just
We don't need to talk about them.
everybody knows. Everybody knows that
Why are you going to make me sad?
I mean, everybody knows
You're
they
gonna make
cheated.
me
Everybody
sad.
knows it's done. But what's going to happen? It's still there. Look at Reggie Bush. You got it taken away. Everybody still knows he won the Heisman. It's not like everybody's like,
I'll
Men in
die on
Black
that
just
hill.
came out and red flashed us, and it's like, wow, Reggie Bush never won the Heisman. Okay, no, he won the Heisman. You could say he didn't, but he did. And so it's just like what happened is it happened. I'm pissed off about it, just like Mike is, but there's nothing that can be done at this point. Michigan won.
Joey,
Won, damn it.
if people want to submit their own squeezes of the week, like Mike and our good friend Lewis, how can they do so?
Friends, you could submit your most outlandish sports take by emailing us at juiceboyshow@gmail.com. That is juiceboyshow@gmail.com. Or send us a DM on Instagram. You guys heed the call last week. I love that you came out in forces and it was outstanding. Send it again. Send us a DM on Instagram at juiceboyshow.
50s.
And if it has the pulp, we'll read it on the show. Chris!
Mr. JoJo.
Who's sponsoring today's show?
So, fellas, today's show is sponsored by one of our very own juice junkies who reached deep into his pocket and bought ad time on this show to give an acceptance speech for his 2023 Squeezy
Squeezy Award.
Outstanding.
from a short couple weeks ago. We'll let him take it away.
Oh, boy.
Hey there, Juice Boys. Listener Dakota here.
Dakota.
Graciously accept my nomination for the 2023 Squeezy Award.
Hey, holding it
Nice.
Those listeners who may not remember, I'm a proud Packer fan, part owner. I was ready to Lambo leap myself off the nearest tall building when Jordan Love led us to a 3-6 start. I was quick to flip that opinion, though, after his domination against the Chiefs, for which I promised to name my firstborn child who's coming after Jordan Love. My wife is very appreciative of our quarterback since he does have an androgynous name, and our firstborn child will in fact be a girl. With that, I have prepared some words for my acceptance. I'd like to first start off by saying that I'm sorry for my flip-floppiness.
Thank
And
you.
I'd like to extend that apology to absolutely fucking nobody.
Oh,
Oh boy. Wow.
I'm not a pundit. I'm not an analyst. I'm no expert. I'm just a guy who rides the wave that all sports fans ride. One week you're hot, your team's going to the championship. The next week, it's time to burn it down. Start over, ground up.
that's true.
Right. I'm there.
That's how I
Every
felt.
week.
Appreciate being able to share that with you guys along the way this season. With that, I'd like to say defraud the state of Mississippi and just call me Brett Favre. Back in the playoffs after an insufferable, ridiculous one-year drought. And you know what? That's all thanks to our absolutely unbelievable future Hall of Famer, 10-time Pro Bowl QB, Jordan Love.
Oh, gosh. What?
As a lifelong
I love
Packer
it.
fan, I've never had to experience what it's like to have incompetent QB play. And I feel proud that over the next 20 years, my daughter will in fact never have to
Okay.
for your team
Daughter Jordan.
to have incompetent quarterback play. In the first round, we were gifted a matchup against the choke artist extraordinaire, the Dallas Cowboys.
I love it.
I'd like to thank my fellow Dak for the tune-up before we ride into that city in the north and beat the living shit out of those fighting Dan Campbell. Can't wait for that one. I'm here to accept my 2023 Squeezy, and I'm deeply honored. Appreciated. I have so many people to thank. Blah blah blah. We all know 2023. It was just the starting point for this show and the insanity of what Squeezies can become. I'm here to make my consideration for 2024 because I highly intend on going back to back.
Let's go.
Back a little bit here. First take, Josh Allen is the greatest quarterback, greatest athlete that the world has ever seen.
Oh, gee.
Oh, my God.
Besides Jordan Love.
Holy shit.
I expect him to go all the way to the Super Bowl without throwing a single pick this
Oh,
postseason.
Not a chance.
that is outlandish.
Okay, that's outlandish.
I know that sounds crazy. It's not, though. You watch what happens.
You threw a pick in the time it took you to say
Second
this.
take, I believe this offseason the Packers will draft defensive guys early. They won't pick up any weapons. They'll use the ones they have to turn third-round guys into superstars,
You take
trade them
enemies
away.
back.
And they'll spend the next 10 to 15 years just doing everything they can to piss Jordan Love off. That one might have to wait a little bit for it to come true, but we'll win a Super Bowl next year. Jordan Love will
Next
take it
year?
to the promised land.
Oh, I almost spit out my beer chaser.
Wow.
And, but one thing is for sure. When these predictions, when these takes do come true, I expect to be back on this show. It's my baby, little Jordan Love Jr. And I'll be here with her to remind you all that nobody has hot takes as red as mine. With that, I'd just like to say it's been an incredible season, been an incredible year listening to you guys. Keep the podcast coming, and we'll see you later.
Oh, God.
Hell yeah, Dakota.
An incredible season. They're in a
Love
wild card team. What are we talking about? Incredible
Hey,
season.
that is an incredible season. Like the fact that that was better than they had with Rodgers.
Oh,
Like,
my gosh.
wow.
It is. It is.
Dakota, what? Wow,
From
dude.
the top ropes,
Wow.
Dakota.
Not
Not the top of a tall
greatest
building, but top ropes.
He knows that's a joke. He knows that's. How do you
I
sleep at
love
night
that
with
guy.
that?
Man, that is fantastic. What a take. What a spiel. Josh Allen is not the greatest living American or athlete or anything at that point, but I do love him. I do love him. And as Chris said,
Oh, wait.
Josh Allen.
He just threw another interception.
Josh Allen he's already thrown
Yeah.
an interception.
She's stupid.
So
Yeah, I wouldn't give him one solid game against the scout team without an interception.
let's watch this. Let's watch this postseason and let's see if this comes to fruition.
If it
and see
does.
oh my god!
If he makes it through this first game without throwing a pick,
then we're going to start going
I
insane.
expect Dakota to show up at our doors expecting us to tell him he was right.
Oh, thank you so much, Dakota, for
Dakota, what a take!
submitting
Thanks for
that.
listening.
What a
That was
beautiful take.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Can't wait to
acceptance
meet
speech.
baby Jordan.
2023 squeezes. Start
Definitely.
submitting
Bring
your
baby
takes
Jordan.
now for the year, and you will be on the 2024 squeezies. Moving into the big topic of the day, the big potato, in the name of Mike Vrabel getting fired, and we don't really know why. We're jumping into the worst head coaching firings of all time. Not hires that just didn't work out from the start.
Fires.
The people that probably shouldn't have been fired because of
Yeah.
a good performing team. They were fired. Who wants to start it? Chuck, you want to take it away?
Sure, I can start.
Tell us about it, JoJo.
Who do you want
Okay.
to go with?
Well, I'm going to start with one that, and I'm going to talk about one of the most egregious firings in college football history, in the firing of
Here we
Jim
go.
Tressel from Ohio State. You guys know what Jim Tressel's winning percentage was as a coach at Ohio State?
95%.
83. I mean,
95 would have been better.
It would have been. It would have been. He was 106 and 22. He was a national champion in 2002. He was a national champion in 2002. He went to 2 BCS championship games. Unfortunately, lost both of them. All right. His worst season was his first year and was 7-5. Then his second season went 14-0 and won the Natty by beating arguably the greatest college football team that's ever been assembled with those Miami Hurricanes. Almost every single person on that team was a future
Was later
all
arrested.
pro. Was later arrested. It was like an all pro. Those teams were unfreaking believable. All right. Now, Jim Tressel was known for like integrity. He's a really good guy.
Integrity.
Even after he was fired, he went back to Youngstown State where he was before. He won 2 national championships with Youngstown State as a coach, and he continued to be an advisor there. You know, he was just an overall outstanding dude, an outstanding coach and leader for kids. I read his book. It's a great dude. The saddest thing about Jim Tressel being fired is that everything that he allowed that happen, or that he supposedly allowed that happen, would be considered completely legal today. He got fired for players getting tattoos. right? For players getting tattoos, for players getting, apparently one guy got a car. All right. Now, I don't want to name anybody because I don't want to throw anybody out there, but I know a guy who played in the NFL, and I know a guy who played at a Power 5 football team in college. And he says that every single player that was a top recruit, they drove a brand new Chrysler 300. Every single one of them. Like, how did that happen? That's weird. All right. And so it's just, this is not like this doesn't happen everywhere. Tattoos and cars. And this dude got fired after winning 83% of his games. All right. And then after that, it took Ohio State a long time to get back. And as Mike said, they had these major sanctions. Terrell Pryor was on the team, and he ended up suffering not being allowed to go into the draft, and he ended up getting drafted in the consolation draft by the Raiders after that fact. So it not only screwed over their program, it screwed over the players that were in it and kept it going. It was absolute trash. The dude did not deserve to be fired. One of the best football coaches, arguably ever, by that winning percentage. Not fair. Jim Tressel.
I'm throwing on my Homer goggles and going with good old Frank Solich.
Oh.
He was the heir apparent to Tom Osborne. Tom Osborne's direct pick to take over for him. He took over in the 1999 season, led the Huskers in 1999 to a Big 12 championship, led them in 2001 to a Natty, won 3 Big 12 divisional championships, before being fired by notable dipshit Steve Peterson in 2003.
Notable dipshit.
Notable dipshit.
Oh my God, Steve Peterson is an idiot. This guy was literally brought in as AD. It's believed just to be the one to axe Frank Solich and conduct what he thought was going to be a nice, easy, simple hiring process, because he expected coaches to just be falling over themselves to want to come and coach at Nebraska, who at that point in time had been dominant for multiple decades. Like, they had been damn good, and still were in 2003, but instead came to find that his firing of Frank Solich wasn't well looked upon by other coaches, looked at as, okay, if multiple Big 12 divisional titles, winning Big 12 Coach of the Year your very first year, winning the Big 12 championship is not good enough to buy you time at Nebraska. Like, we don't want that. And so instead, they're
you're
coaching
taking Frank Solich. You're taking Solich over Bo Pelini.
Yeah, go to hell, Bo Pelini.
I loved Bo Pelini, dude. I thought that was a terrible firing when they got rid of him.
No.
The team was just just plummeted after they got rid of him.
Can I get back to my talk?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for permission.
You had more?
So they wound up taking more than 40 days to then settle on Steve Peterson, who kicked off Nebraska languishing at mid to bottom level for the next 2 decades because he was such a dumpster fire. Meanwhile, Frank Solich went on to coach at Ohio, where he coached until, 2020, I think?
Not Ohio State, Ohio.
Yep, Ohio, where he won 4 MAC divisional titles. He wound up with a record of 173 and 101, and is a brand new 2024 inductee into the College Football Hall of Fame.
For real?
Yeah.
No way. I did not know that. Wow. Yep. Okay. Good for him.
Yeah. Congrats to Frank Solich.
Okay, but that is egregious. But I still don't understand why you're okay with the firing of Bo Pelini.
Did you ever watch him on the sideline?
Yeah, it was awful. But the team played well.
He was a total and complete embarrassment each and every week. The team always just manhandled teams that they were supposed to, and any team that they were on par with or expected to lose to, as soon as it started not going their way, they just fell to pieces. In back-to-back seasons under Bo Pelini, they gave up the college football rushing record in a single game to a Wisconsin running back, one of whom was Monty Ball.
Can I talk now?
Cody, would you please talk a little bit? I haven't heard from you in a while.
We're going to switch up sports.
Good.
Basketball.
What other sport exists?
This one hits home for us all.
Cody's a basketball guy.
This one hits home for us all. Old Coach of the Year, 2013.
My boy.
George Karl gets
on my
canned.
list. Yep.
Canned. You want to know what his record was as the Denver coach? A struggling Denver franchise, and then Melo came in and kind of changed things around. 423 and 257 was his career record for the Nuggets.
Whoa.
Shit.
And we fire him after, what did we get, Joe? The 1 seed?
Oh, yeah.
We got the 1 seed with no All-Stars.
Yeah.
We had it was a great roster, no All-Stars, no face of the franchise. He took that roster to the 1 seed. Did we blow it in the playoffs? Astronomically, yes.
Which they did every year with him,
yes,
unfortunately.
we were so pissed. But
besides the 1 year with the loss to Kobe.
yes,
that was a great team.
freaking the Coach of the Year. Here's his roster: Corey Brewer, Wilson Chandler, Kenneth Faried, Evan Fournier was a rookie, I believe. Danilo Gallinari, Andre Iggy was on that team. Costa Koufis, remember Koufis?
He was good.
Ty Lawson was balling at that time. We had JaVale McGee messing up with just about every
Most
game.
hilarious player who's ever existed.
Yep.
JaVale
Andre
McGee.
Miller came back. Mozgov before he got paid.
Andre Miller was George Karl's whoopee. He would not coach a team if Andre Miller was not on.
Seriously, old man Andre never jumped off the ground. I don't know if you can get paper between his feet when he jumped. The best
Coach
season
of
the
the
Nuggets have ever seen, and then canned him. In the long run, did it work out? Yes, we got Mike Malone, but it did take about a decade.
A long run. The immediate run after that, Brian Shaw. Do you remember that disaster?
Yes, I remember. Oh,
when he was
dear
the
Lord.
next up and coming dude. He was the guy on the Lakers staff.
I haven't seen him since. Haven't seen him
because
since.
he was axed because he was absolutely trash, dude.
Terrible.
And that was so bad. That was so bad. Did Malone come in right after him? Who was after?
I think it was Malone.
Okay, then
Yeah.
I love Michael Malone. That guy.
But it was so. George Karl's a Hall of Fame coach. He coaches the Supersonics in the '90s. He's an NBA legend. I just don't know how Stan Kroenke had the.
He's up there
goal.
He's up there close to Don Nelson for the all-time wins. You know
That bothered.
Stan Kroenke was paying attention enough to realize that he needed to get rid of his coach.
That's true. But that's my first
Ryan
pick.
Shaw experiment was horrible.
Terrible.
It was so bad.
Joe number 2.
The two firings of Tom Landry and Jimmy Johnson by the one and only Jared Jones.
Yep.
All right. And now first we'll start with
We
Tom.
them boys?
We them boys. How about them Cowboys? Well, I'm gonna start first with Tom Landry. This guy, when you think about football, I mean, like actual football back in the day, you think of Tom Landry and you think of Vince Lombardi, you think of Chuck Noll. Oh, Cody, help me out! My God, I had it on my brain. The Chiefs coach back in the day. What?
Hank Stram.
Hank Stram. All these old classic names. Tom Landry was the coach for the Dallas Cowboys for 29 years.
Jeez.
And during that time, he was 250 and 162. So a 61% winning percentage over 29 years. Won 2 Super Bowls, won 5 NFC championships. Okay. When they fired him, it was 2 years after they went 12-4 and went to the NFC championship and lost to the 49ers. Okay. They went 3-13 this year. Okay. That's a bad team. He got fired. However, the next year when they hired Jimmy Johnson, they went 1-15 because Jera took over that team. He took over that team as the GM and took over as the controlling person. So he just the team was absolute trash.
Just garbage.
So it wasn't Tom Landry. That team was just absolute dog shit. All right. And so that's the first one. How the fuck do you fire Tom Landry? That's where we're getting at right now with the Bill Belichick level. You know, how do you fire Bill Belichick? I'm really interested to see how this is going to go, how they're going to part ways, because they're going to part ways, and Mike Vrabel's going to be the coach next year. However, now we move on to Jimmy Johnson. Okay, so they hired Jimmy Johnson as their next coach. Great hire. He went 1-15 his first year when they drafted Troy Aikman. Okay, the next year they drafted Emmitt Smith and went 7-9. Okay, the next 3 years, 11-5, 3-13, 12-4, he got fired. He got fired after back-to-back Super Bowl championships. And he got fired because Jerry Jones would not allow him to say that Jerry Jones was not an integral part of their championship building. He said that if he would have said that he played into that Jerry built the team, that this was 50-50 and it wasn't all him, then it would have been there. His
My
stupid
God.
pride, we talked about this last week, his stupid pride cost him that.
Yeah, what an
Right.
ego.
So the Cowboys, after that fact, they won their Super Bowl with Barry Switzer. Everybody knows that was not Barry Switzer's team. Okay, that they were absolutely trashed 2 years after that. They tried to bring in Bill Parcells. That didn't even work. Bill Parcells rejuvenated every single franchise that he ever touched. They did not make it back to the playoffs again until Tony Romo, and they still have not won a Super Bowl since 1995. Two Hall of Fame coaches fired within 5 years of each other. Like that is absolute insanity. After 12-4 and back-to-back Super Bowls, fired.
Makes a lot of sense. Jerry.
God dang.
Jerry. Chris.
Jerry, how could you? My selection number 2 is less of my normal creative route and just me wanting to talk about a dude. Can we talk about a dude?
Let's
Let's talk about it, dude.
Let's talk about a dude.
Well, I'll talk about
I would love to talk about Michael Charles Leach,
Oh.
aka
I love
Mike Leach,
I love Mike Leach.
aka
Rest in peace, buddy.
the Pirate. That guy was the all-time winningest coach at Texas Tech at the
Oh, yeah.
time of his firing.
Mm-hmm.
That was a
Graham
guy
Harrell,
who
Michael
was
Crabtree?
Oh yeah,
he was a 2-time national coach of the year, 3-time conference coach of the year, and he was the guy that created the air raid offense as we know it
as
today.
we know it now.
Yeah.
Don Coryell back in the day, but yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Joe.
Hold on. The Big 12 was all flinging the same offense. They were all doing that. It wasn't.
Yeah, but wasn't
No,
like
no, no.
he did the 5 wides, the
They
empty,
all
it
did.
was-
The
it
Big
was-
12 back in that's all they did.
Look it up, McCoy.
That's all they did.
Leach
a little research.
revolutionized.
Mike Leach.
Revolutionized.
Mike Leach is known as the
I know nothing,
godfather
and I'm
of-
not.
Graham
buying
Harrell
into
threw
it.
for like 5,000 yards.
So did
And
Sam
then-
Bradford.
yeah.
So did fucking
Okay, Sam
Chase
Bradford was-
Daniel. They all did in the Big
They were
12.
pros. They
Colt
were
Brennan
pros.
in Hawaii threw for that. I mean, they all fucking did.
Okay, Hawaii.
Colt Brennan? May
Can he
rest in
continue?
peace.
Can he continue?
Sorry.
Is it okay if I keep talking about my friend?
Continue.
Please continue about Mike Leach.
So Mike Leach has these like wild allegations thrown at him by a former player that he was like locked in a shed or something.
Do you know do you know whose son that was though? Why it was a big deal?
Who? I actually don't.
Oh yeah, this is why he got fired. It was ridiculous. They said that he was publicly shamed this kid and put him into a shed. And he was the Craig James, the former analyst and the Patriots running back. He was really good. And it was his son. And they fired him for not apologizing for it. They locked him in a
He
shed.
didn't apologize for it.
Yeah, Chris, continue.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Wild stuff. So basically Texas Tech tries to suspend him before their bowl game. He gets a lawyer involved and tries to push back against that suspension. And so Texas Tech decides to fire him one day before he's due an $800,000 bonus. One day beforehand. And so instead, until his death, Mike Leach would still talk to anybody willing to listen about how much money Texas Tech owed him. But this was
But
a
he'd
guy
also
who
talk
was-
about how the situation was completely blown out of proportion. It was literally like Peyton Manning in the United Way commercial on SNL. Like, you go sit in the portalette. And you're like, you close that. I see you popping your head out of there. And it was just like it just got
yeah, just
way
just
blown
this
out of proportion. Yeah.
wild, ridiculous, insane situation for a guy that was known to be like one of the biggest, most wild personalities in all of college football coaching. So my two favorite Mike Leach moments. One was after a big win. So he went on to coach at Washington State, like had Wazoo humming for a while. And so once after a big win,
Minshew Mania, baby.
Minshew Mania, baby.
Yeah.
So reporters catch up with him. They go, hey, what's the what's the feel in the locker room right now? And deadpan, without missing a beat, he said, it's an awful lot like Woodstock, except everybody has their clothes on.
The hell does that mean?
I don't know, but to him, it made perfect sense. And then my other favorite story is once upon a time, so reporters would just throw him goofy ass questions just to get the goofiest ass responses, to have a tagline, have a headline, have some sort of something.
Because he'd always have something to say.
He'd always do it.
He would always have something to say. And so once upon a time, somebody asked him something to the tune of, any nervousness about somebody breaking into your house, or, kind of how do you all in the Leach household treat home defense? And his response was, not too long ago, Mrs. Leach bought me a double-handled battle axe for my birthday or for a gift or something like that. And so we went ahead and hung it up above the bed. And so anytime somebody breaks in, that's our home defense. Yeah, if I remember correctly, like according to players, like that wasn't a joke. He had a full fucking battle axe hanging up above his bed. Like that wasn't a joke.
Fat as hell and died of a heart attack. Like what was he going to do with a battle axe?
And then, spoiler alert, he died just a little over a year ago. Rest in peace, Mike Leach. The type of personality I worry we may never get to see again in professional or high-level athletics.
Him breaking down the Pac-12 by mascots and how tough they are.
Who would win in a fight, right?
He was winning a fight, and he was just saying, he's like a beaver. He's like, oh, come on. Like, anybody can take down a beaver. A duck, ducks are fine. He's like, a ute, if they're on horseback and with a bow and arrow, that's going to be a formidable force. So, but anything, a buffalo, that beast is going to be really hard to take down. It's like a Spartan, a well-trained Spartan. I don't think anybody, not Spartan.
Throw him
well-trained,
question,
Trojan,
and he will treat it as if his life depends on it. It's amazing. It's
he's like, I'm going to take the cougar
every single time.
I'm going to take the cougar. He
he was the wazoo. I'm going to take the cougar.
Oh my God, just a fantastic human being.
I'm going to take the Christopher creative route on this. I'm going to say
somebody needed to. Thank you.
8 coaches that LeBron James has had. All 8.
Until this one. This is the one that really turns it around.
He's on his 9th coach.
That's a lot.
He's on his 19th year. Every other year, this man swaps out coaches.
Who wonder who was his longest tenured?
God only knows.
Was it Eric Spoelstra for those 4 years?
Maybe he's only had 2 coaches not fired. The rest have been fired by him. They should not have been fired. They all get clipped way too early in the process. LeBron has way too much say.
Oh my God, that's a great.
None of those guys should have been fired. Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan. You just needed a combo. Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, Andy Reid, Pat Mahomes, whatever. You need a coach that you stick with. And LeBron James had too much of an ego.
That third one in there with those first 2, huh? As if they're all equal. Yeah, I noticed that. That stands
Kobe and Shaq with Phil Jackson Part 2.
There we go.
Yeah, those guys at 6, 5, and 2. They still got a little bit of work, McCoy. But they're getting there.
But just tandem here. LeBron James has not put his ego aside to go get a coach that he respects. He wants someone that he's even with. He's always wanted that his whole career. Everyone's been too scared of LeBron. Phil Jackson would have put him in his place. He needed someone to do that. He's never allowed it.
I remember they were talking about firing Spoelstra, and it was just like because he was like not getting along with LeBron, and it was like, oh, that would have been a massive mistake.
And that's okay too. It's like, do you have the right coach? Is LeBron gonna settle his ego to be a part of the team? Michael Jordan was scared and respected Phil Jackson.
Yeah. Do you have to like one another all the time in order to be able to have a high caliber output? Like, I would actually say no. Like in athletics, like there should be some friction.
Yes, you're pushing each other to get the best performance out of them.
I don't think that Tom Brady and Bill Belichick ever really actually liked each other.
No, not at all. I don't think they did.
I don't think
I can't imagine so.
It's like I think that Brady and McDaniels, but there's coaches that that I don't think they ever really got along. It was just like,
and that's okay. There was mutual respect. You respected your coach, who is the boss, to make the best decision to win. He pushed you. He pushed your buttons. He knew how to motivate you to get the best out of you, not just play buddy, keep LeBron happy. What does LeBron want? What kind of players does he want? And the last, 5 years of LeBron's career have been very forgettable. And we just rotate.
So who do you think was the worst fire then of his 9 coaches?
Mike Brown's been end up being a great NBA coach.
He's always bounced back too.
He always bounced
back a lot though. He's been the NBA they fire. They're like
They
they're like
do.
the
They're just
NHL
passing
where
around all the time.
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's
They're
mine.
fire.
That's my creative. They
I love that take.
who just won
Way
for
to go,
he
Cody.
just won in the bubble. Frank Vogel won a
Vogel.
ring and got fired.
And look at
Like,
what he's doing now with the Pacers. Halliburton. Hopefully, Halliburton's hamstring is okay because that kid's amazing.
Yeah, I don't
and
understand.
The Pacers look great, but
We
yeah.
handed the NBA and LeBron everything on a silver platter, and look what he's done with it. So
All right, junkies. Remember, you can listen to the show on all major podcast networks, including Google, Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. If you haven't checked out our in-person YouTube, check it out. It was a lot of fun with some special guest stars. Thank you again, Chris. That was so awesome. If you're enjoying the show, please consider following and rating the show. And leave us a review if you listen through Apple. We encourage you to follow the YouTube channel as well. Be a friend, tell a friend about the podcast, and follow us as always at Juice Boys Show on Instagram. Cody!
yeah. Thank you, Joey. We already did our one. We pushed another ad read up front, so we're just going to jump right into the picks. Chris, how did we do last week in the final regular season week?
Come on.
Chris, if you went 0-3, dude, you're off the
Fellas.
podcast. You're out of here.
How did we do?
How did we do?
Does anybody know?
I won one game, and I think I won it too.
So somebody here went 3-0.
Jesus,
What?
please be me.
Who do you think?
Wheel of Degeneracy.
You fucking bet it was.
Oh, came in clutch.
The three Juice Boys accounted for 3 correct picks,
Oh, jeez.
1 each.
Wow.
Welcome to the bottom with me, boys.
I'm
Stumbling
still
into
in
the
first
playoffs.
place, baby. Still in first place, baby.
Yeah. So with your back-to-back weeks of ties, Joey's still got the lead. So it'll go Joey, then McCoy, then myself. We already pre-selected for the wheel. We've got Browns at Texans, Eagles at Buccaneers, and Packers at Cowboys for the old Wheel of Degeneracy. Let's see what the hell happens.
What do you got, Joe?
All right. You know, I'm gonna take this first on the only team I have any skin left in. Is that right? The only team that I have skin left. Whatever. The only team that I care about. The only team
Joey,
that
this is a family podcast. I don't want to know where you're putting your skin.
I don't know. The skin's gone. All right. So.
Oh my God, that sounds worse.
Yeah, all of it with Patriots. I am raw. So it's
This is getting worse.
yeah. Now, I'm going to take Tampa Bay +3 over Philly. Philly is on an absolute downhill spiral. They're falling. They're turning. If they were a snowflake, they're a snowman at this point. They're falling so hard. And Tampa Bay is at home. They have a chance. Tampa Bay +3 over Philly. Let's go, Baker. Come on, baby. Baker, a fan of every member of the Juice Boys.
I disagree.
Every member loves Baker.
Subpar
Let's
Baker.
go,
Every
Baker.
single Juice Boy loves Baker.
I'm taking
Worships the ground he walks on.
Rams +3.
Boo!
I think they keep it close. I think Stafford is going to be motivated here. You have Cooper and Puka balling out. Rams just feel like they have nothing to. Sean McVay versus Dan Campbell. I'm going to take McVay. Give me Rams on the road to at least cover.
That worries me, dude. That might be the one that ties it. That might be the one that you catch me on. But
we'll see.
Let's go, Baker. Let's go.
Awesome, fellas. Well, thanks for taking 2 of my picks already. I'm going Steelers at Bills under 36.5.
Okay. That's a low under, bud. But
I know. I just, especially with the guarantee that Josh Allen will not throw a single pick, that's a pretty deadly under. But if he does what he's done his entire career and throw a couple of those, I don't think that's too insane.
JoJo.
all right, going on to my next one. I'm going to take Detroit -3 over the Rams. This is all right. So that one's gonna wash. That one's gonna wash.
I
us,
love
buddy.
it, boys.
All right, but I'm gonna take it. I was talking about it earlier. I think this is gonna be the time that the Lions are proved that they are here and they're gonna move on. And unfortunately, it's at Matthew Stafford's expense. But I think it's gonna be even better that he is there. All right, Kendall, I'm with you, girl. Let's go. Let's go, Lions.
Taking the under 44 on the Dolphins at Chiefs game.
That's a good one. Good
Sub, like just it's gonna be freezing. I think there's probably a little bit of wind. Miami and Buffalo. I don't even know if they scored, Miami didn't score nothing really at Miami. So I just don't see how they're gonna put up that many points.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and go with Cowboys minus 7.5. They play their best ball at home. I see them losing in the second round, but with Big Daddy Jarrah sitting up high, looking down upon you, yeah, I think they get the job done.
What's that line?
7.5.
Ooh,
tough turd.
All right. And my final pick, because I have to take an over-under, I'm going to take over 50.5 in Green Bay and Dallas. I think Jordan Love's going to put up some points. I think that this kid, this rookie Reed for the Packers, he can fly. And I think Deron Bland is going to get burned. And so I think Green Bay's going to win this game. Just throwing it out there. I was going to say it. Green Bay's going to win this game.
I'm happily rooting against myself. I love it.
Jeez. I'm taking Bills minus 10. That's a big line. They're at home. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl, but the Steelers just have no one. They got their third string quarterback. They have no TJ Watt. They're going to get everything they got, but I think you'll probably it'd be like a backdoor cover. One of those like middle of the fourth quarter, we kick a field goal and now we're in. So
let's go Eagles at Bucks under 44.
Let's do it. Eagles Bucks under 44.
Eagles Bucks under 44. You know, mostly because pretty much every other pick I had is already taken. Thanks, fellas.
Unfortunate. Wheel of Degeneracy, Chris. Let's spin
all right.
that
So,
thing.
Cody, what's that last one there?
Everybody is. When did we make that? Was that Christmas?
Everybody takes a
it's been
shot.
like
That was the
3
week
weeks.
before Christmas.
Oh, jeez.
It's guaranteed to hit now.
What do we got?
Cody,
Let's go.
do you have another shot ready? Because last week you weren't taking this shit seriously, and I still haven't gotten over my disappointment.
We'll find out.
This is legally binding.
God.
McCoy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Let's give her a spin.
Oh, shit.
And it hits immediately.
Everybody takes a
And
shot.
it hits
It
immediately.
hits on spin number one. McCoy, you ready to pull your head out of your ass? Or
Be right back.
What a
Oh my God.
loser. What a loser.
Joey, so McCoy stepped away, but I've got myself a little announcement to make.
You're pregnant?
Oh, I wish, but we can just keep trying, buddy. Boy, are we ready to take a shot?
Take a shot, boys.
All right, fellas, let's go ahead and. Oh, McCoy's unscrewing something. No, uncorking something. Okay.
Unscrewing. Okay, that'd be weird. Yeah.
Go screw yourself.
Ooh.
You know,
Maybe
I'm gonna
after
bust
we're
out
bottoms
this-
up.
That's actually doing.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to afford things that you enjoy drinking.
Yeah.
Let's give her another spin.
It's not
See
Burnett's.
if we can take another shot. Send Cody hammered to work tomorrow.
Hey, I'm around.
Don't we all work tomorrow?
Holy hell, that was really close.
Oh, that was really close. All right, away spread. So Cleveland Browns minus 2.5.
Ooh.
Ooh. Boo. I don't like it.
All right, up next we've got the Eagles at the Bucks. Let's see what we got going on
Let's
here.
go Baker. Let's go Baker.
Under 44. I don't hate that.
Who took that?
I mean, you picked it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you took
That's
that.
why I don't hate it.
That's not, you don't hate it.
Duh. Aren't you paying attention? All right, so last we've got Packers at Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Under 51. Or wait, no, under 50 and a half.
50 and a half. All right, well, that's
a lot of points.
opposite of me. So I picked the over. So you're wrong.
my God.
You know what's over,
You are
Joe?
wrong.
You know what's not over, McCoy? This announcement.
What?
The Nebraska Cornhuskers just took down the #1 team in the country by 16 points.
Oh,
Blew 'em out.
Oh,
God.
go
Zach
F
Edey
yourself.
going down, dude.
Rhymes with Ike. Go F yourself, Zach Edey.
Oh, we shot 'em
Huskers
all out.
by a million. My
Are they going to
God.
make the tournament this year? That was
I
your
hope so.
resolution?
I hope so, man. They had a disappointing loss over the weekend to Wisconsin. But to bounce right back and knock out number 1 Purdue, give them their 2nd loss of the season.
Diamond.
Yeah, that's
Big time.
pretty damn impressive. That's pretty fantastic right
Now,
there.
can I end the show, you asshole?
I don't know. You have to.
That's it for our show, boys.
Oh, gall.
Oh my God!
Thanks
You
for
had to do
tuning
it to
in.
us.
Make sure to get signed up for the Pick'em.
That's right.
We're super excited. We'll be
Yeah,
getting ours in there
everybody
too. You'll be
hop on in
competing
there.
against us and other juice junkies around the globe.
Hey, I picked Miami, so
jeez.
we'll see. Hey, that's gonna be a big deal to separate us, boys. When that game hits, and that's gonna split our brackets. Let's go.
Oh, jeez. We'll see
go,
you next
boys.
week. Boys, bye, bye, bye. Love, love, love.
Bye. Love, love.
Zoos.